Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teachers Noob. Today I have returning Carrie.
Hey guys, how are you? Glad to be back.
Y-
Looking forward to talking
Yep,
about this.
yep. And this one, it's trepidatiously going to be a Pro Teachers Noob. You've read this before, but it's been so long, you've forgotten most of it, correct?
Yes, it's been a while.
But yeah, this is one of my favorite the ends. In fact, I don't have it with me, but I met Paul Jenkins and he signed my book.
Oh, nice. That's
And he
really
signed on the tombstone.
nice.
But if you
Yeah, that's
but if
good
you notice
place.
though, this much like the cover for what we went over last time, it's clearly homaging the Origins cover.
Hmm.
You know
Yeah,
what
I
I
see
mean?
that.
But with him on one side, but this time it's going uphill instead of downhill.
And this
But
predates
yeah,
Old
so
Man Logan.
oh yeah, this predates Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
Now the whole point behind this, from what Jenkins told me, was Origins was about giving answers. This was about raising questions that he will never get the answers to.
Okay.
And the ending is kind of a fizzle ending, if you ask me. But let's get your opinion when we get there. Also, this has
Okay.
some Claudio Castellini artwork, which I adore.
Yeah, he's got
But
some
yeah,
great art.
yep. But yeah, so let's get started. Oh, I hate when it does that. Yeah, we open up in Canada, some unknown future way out there. If you see this old man, they're helping him load up. He's loading up into his truck, making a delivery. And hey, George, don't you strain yourself there. You ain't getting any younger. Where you going with that stuff anyway? Ugh, out by the river. Figured to take the day. I take the day off from you two boneheads. Riverbend, are you off to see that and the weirdo? Yeah, and he ain't weird. He's just like you and me. Besides, it ain't like I'm giving the stuff away. We got a deal. Where do you think half the pelts in this town comes from? I heard that guy's a mutant. So what? Your cousin Tiffany's a mutant. She ain't a mutant. She's got a glandular problem is all. She looks like a whale. They should put her back in the ocean where she belongs. Uh-huh. Well, as stimulating as you two idiots are, I gotta get back. Hey, George, how long you been delivering out to that old nut at the riverbend anyway? Since I was 11.
Sounds sounds about right.
Yep, we'll be following him, and look at this artwork.
Yeah, look at that. That's like
This
poster material.
That is poster material right there. And then now again, there'll be a lot of stuff in here you want to get answers to. You'll never. What happened to his claw? Oh, I'll
Yeah.
go back. See what I mean? One of them's broken.
Yeah.
We never get an answer to that. As he's pained as it's going back in. You're getting old, Logan. Now that's not him talking, actually.
Okay.
Aren't you going to answer me? I've got nothing to say. It's arthritis. It's what happens when you get old. Your body's been through a lot of insults. Are you afraid of what's going to happen to you? What if you suffer? What if you live for another century? What if I don't care? Hey, Mr. Logan, brought out the fishing lure you wanted. It's in the box. Fine. Stuff's around Bass. Why don't you ask him if anyone followed him? It's okay. I mean, Jeff Palmer and Danny Rigg were drinking out in front of the store, but I wouldn't worry about that. You know them two idiots. Their brains are pickled. Besides, they know you live here because they saw you out here once when they were hunting for weasels. You want something else, son? I told you before, I ain't got no tip for you. I haven't come out here for 50 years, Mr. Logan, and you ain't never tipped me yet. I mean, I know you don't like to talk much and stuff. That's okay with me, especially what happened to you and all that. You got a letter. Did anyone follow you? Did you tell anyone you were coming out here? You know I'm always careful. Well, what does it say? Someone I know died. It was, in this version, it's Sabretooth who actually
Okay.
found religion.
Oh wow.
Yep, and look, you see Blob, you see Mystique, and no idea what the other guy is.
Oh,
But yeah,
Mystique.
they bury him and all that, and then I'm sorry, Mr. Logan. Was he a good friend of yours? No, he wasn't a friend. He was an animal. He hurt a lot of people, and he only found God because he was afraid of dying. I probably shouldn't have come. I just thought, I mean, I always figured me and him was connected somehow. That after all was said and done, I'd somehow find out Craig and me were tied together. All those years, all that sadness wasted on trying to kill each other, all the people who got hurt, and for what? In the end, it didn't mean a thing. He was just another sicko trying to make his mark. Mr. Logan? Emily Rand, attorney at Mr. Creed's estate. My client spoke often of you before he died. None of it good, I hope. I'm uh I'm aware you and Victor had your differences, Mr. Logan. Even so, he indicated a respect for you above any other. He felt saddened that you insisted on living in the ancient past. Here, according to my client's instructions, this is for you. Dropped it. He's like, as he's starting to get memories, as he's taken over to the Howlett family's estate.
Ah,
As he runs, he soon realizes, yep, like, whoa, just look at that. Again, this artwork's incredible, isn't it?
it is. It is. It's just like,
You shouldn't have come here, Logan. You don't want this. Not really. There are only ghosts here, and you should go home. Live your life. And wait for your time. Mr. Logan? Hey, that's the same crest as that envelope Creed's lawyer gave you. What is this old place anyway? Where are we? We can't keep it down. They might be watching. Watching? Who's watching? Hey, where are you going now? You gotta slow down. I can't keep up. John Howlett. What is it? It finds this book, a book about Japan. I used to live in this region a long time ago. Whoever left it here knows way too much about me. Look, I owe you some kind of explanation in return for you driving me halfway across the country. I just don't know if it's going to be something you'd understand, George. Did you ever wish for anything in your life? Well, got my own crazy little pipe dream. It ain't much, just something I read in a magazine once. I always figured I'd go off on a sailboat where it was nice and warm. I remember seeing a picture of this rich guy heading out across the water, smoking a cigar. I don't see why there can't be a happy ending, even in central Canada. Just me and a boat and the sunset. But yeah, basically he starts to explain how, he was the Howlett, like saying he's the last one. Now, this is a case where this is before House of M, so as far as he's keeping it, he still has very little memories of things.
right.
And, shows off his claws, like they put this metal inside me. Now, he's starting to get paranoid and starts thinking, like, you might be one of them, for I know. Did they tell you we was coming here, George? Answer me. Mr. Logan, I don't even know what you're talking about. Weapon X, man. And men, Weapon X. They're everywhere. Not really, but he's getting paranoid at his old age.
Yeah.
This memories for you,
Yeah.
or is it still as foggy
Yeah,
as it was for Wolverine?
A little bit foggy, but I remember like it didn't really go into his relationship with Sabretooth, like how they were biologically connected.
Yep. I think that was because that came out after this.
Yeah, because that was Origins. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Origin, but even then, no. But wait a minute. That was Dog. Dog has no relation to Wolverine.
Mm.
Remember that. Dog is not a Creed.
Right.
People sometimes mix that up. Dog is because eventually it was made clear. Because eventually Wolverine would see Dog in the afterlife, making it very clear he's not Creed. But yeah, they're soon in Vancouver, talking out as he eventually tells them, "Oh, I love this. Listen, you're right. I trust you. You've always been a solid kid, George, and I ain't exactly been Mr. Personality around you over the years. I need you to listen because this is important. You got to go buy the cabin. I can't leave you out here. There's some serious people. I don't want to put you in any more harm's way than you already are. But I need you to do some stuff for me. You can't be serious. I want you to think about my magazines. And think about my magazines, George. One of them ain't right. It ain't me. Catch my drift? I want you to look in that magazine, and I'll send you a message. It's an old safeguard of mine. The less you know right now, the better off you are. Look, maybe we should go back into town and rest for a while. Things will seem clearer in the light of day. No, don't you get it? You're supposed to think I'm nuts. That's what they do. I got to jump ship right now when they least expect it. Just look in the magazines, okay? I'll be in touch. Eventually, then he's making his way on there for 3 weeks by just helping him gut fish and everything. You shouldn't have come here, Logan. You're too old for all these fool errands. They're for younger, stronger men. And Weapon X, how can you be sure it's ever existed in the first place? It existed. I ain't crazy. Of course you're crazy. You're talking to yourself, don't you? You're 210 years old. Damn!
Wow.
And look at Tokyo. Face it, Logan. This isn't your world. He makes his way there, and eventually, may I be of a service? Do you have a copy of Ghosts of Japan, The Lost Rituals of Kamaguri? That's an unusual volume, by local request only. We get a lot of outsiders here who consider it nothing to keep a book for their own purpose. I understand, Miss Tanaka, and it seems your copy of this particular book is missing. I checked your loan tags, but I'm not able to locate the name of the borrower. Perhaps you would kindly inform the person, should he or she return soon, that they mistakenly left the book in my possession. Ask them to contact me. Should they have any further questions. My name is Logan. We have countless American reporters over the years sniffing around for the same story. The Karaguru cult became defunct over 1,200 years ago, if they ever existed at all. You don't understand everything. Understand everything. I mean, everything Japanese is alien to your thinking, and yet you persist in shaping it to fit your homogenous culture, all for the sake of a story. Go home. You'll find nothing that fits your fantasies here. I remember your great-grandfather, Yoshiro Tanaka, said a similar thing to me the first time I met him. I love that look on her face.
Like, what?
I love how she went for sneering, like, oh, please, too. What? Kind of humbled her, I think. Oh, but eventually soon finds the magazines and then wine lovers. You old fox. You sly old fox. I love that because let's be honest, Wolverine would never drink wine.
No. He said one of them is not me.
Yep. But he makes his way there and then, oh boy, they're ready to sacrifice someone, but of course, party's over. You idiots crack me up. What you found and what? You found some made up Shinto ritual somewhere on the internet and you're experts in the occult? Please. Oh boy. You're not bad for an old gaijin, huh? I won't be so polite next time. Oh, but before he gets any answers, even the woman who ran out got killed.
Ugh.
Oh, wine lover. Also, it's an anagram for Wolverine. Sorry about the port. Good stuff in cellar. Logan. Okay, I love when people do that. They put in the magazine ads.
Yeah.
And it's like, George, if you're reading this, then you know where I am. I need you to send me some stuff out of the old steamer truck at the foot of the wall. Instructions below. When you filled out the list, the rest is yours. Consider it a tip. Holy mother of pearl! I think he's earned that, wouldn't you say?
I would say, and
After
Wolverine's been around for 200.
After helping him out since he was 11,
Yeah.
he's more than earned it. But yeah, he's made his way there to this place, and I like how he actually has these glasses. You don't see him wear them fully, but still.
Yeah.
I know you're there. You've been following me for the last 2,000 feet up the mountain and 200 years before that. Don't you think about time you showed your face? Oh, and then this ghost is knocking him around, or seems to be a ghost. This don't make no sense. You invited me here. Wait, stop. I know. I want you to know. I could have killed you at any time, old man. Any time in the last 200 years. I want you to remember that. I don't understand. Why didn't you? Again, raise it up. This has a good build up to it.
Yeah. It keeps you intrigued.
It's only by the ending when things fall.
Yeah. That seems to be like the whole ongoing thing with the end stories.
Yeah, no, except for Hulk the end. And Punisher
Okay.
the end. And Fantastic Four the end. It seems like the mutant ones are the ones that don't get the good
Yeah.
endings. Uh, Eventually, we're soon going to find out what's it and what's been going on. But we also find a bit more about his history now. Whoever it was is explaining everything to him about the Howlettes and all that, about Rose. James, you've been searching for me. Don't be afraid. Over here! They carry him, bring him in, and for a moment he's having a deja vu. Now, of course, one other thing to make clear is what we're going to find out here, it's clearly going to be undone by Wolverine Origins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wakes up like dreaming. Hey, so what are you and you, the welcoming committee? Huh? Please, Logan-san, be patient. Your presence has been requested here. But you are our guest. Uh-huh. You this polite to all your captives? No, only the special one. This way, please. The master awaits. Now, this leads to why I love this series and why I feel it gets squandered being reduced only to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And this figure here, who I'll go into in a moment. Hello, James. You can't imagine how long I've been waiting to make your acquaintance. I haven't been James since you guys opened me up like a sardine tin and put metal on my skeleton. You can just call me Logan, but I wouldn't get used to it. As you wish. So yeah, so you're Kitsubi, the white ghost. That's a pretty neat trick, making the locals afraid of you. How many did you have to kill to keep them that way? Just enough to suit my purposes, as many as were unnecessary. Uh-huh. Wasn't it Adolf Hitler who said, the bigger the lie, the more people will believe it? I met him once. He was a weasel. There are a lot of things you wouldn't understand, Jane. Not until you give me the chance to explain. You're old, and you've become set in your ways. I've had my reasons to do this. So yeah, it leads to a fight and everything, and yeah, for an old man, this guy's really, keeps up with him until he starts using his ghost powers. As you wish. Again, the artwork's so great here.
Yeah, that looks so great.
But eventually soon reveals who he is as he finds out, you're my little brother. It's John Howlett. That's why I say there's such wasted potential here. Because technically John was set up, especially his mother having the claw marks on her side. That was
Yeah.
from John, but we never got word of it.
Yeah, I remember that in Origins, and it's like they just kind of passed it off like he died.
Yeah, he died. But yet he was old enough to strike her big enough claws.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. They told me you died when I was a baby. I know. A lot can happen to a couple of old geezers like us, James. I love I said to a couple of old geezers like us. But first, I have something for you. Mom, I can't remember any of it. That picture was taken a few days after she returned from the hospital. I remember father actually pointing the camera at her, just below a willow tree near a pond with geese in it. That's the other thing is, Wolverine's power prevents him from remembering anything painful. John's, however, he never forgets.
Yeah.
Now, I do actually like that as well. It makes sense. One brother gets one set, the other one gets a different set. But yeah, basically then shows him that now it's made clear that he was a prototype of Weapon X as well. Which I guess that does fit with what Morrison set up, how Weapon X was just a spin-off of the Super Soldier program.
Right.
But yeah, he basically explains how everything that was done to you was done to me first. But then he said it was all, but then he said it failed. Weapon X was closed down 100 years ago, and the men responsible went home, cashed their big fat government pension checks, grew old, and died. It
Yep.
was all for nothing. As he remembers it all. Oh, wait, let me go back. Look at this. Younger and older. Again, this is worse than just for Claudio's Castellini's artwork, isn't it?
Yeah, and I like colors too. Like I like the use of different colors to emphasize certain things.
Yep. But eventually, how? How do you know all this? Because they did it to me too. You've managed to dodge the full force of the trauma because you can't remember. Your version of our healing factor forces your mind to forget the trauma. In a way, I envy you. The tank was your womb for a while, and you died the day you emerged from it and were reborn. But I died the day I was born. Basically, how he explains how things seem to be going fine, and then, well, he eventually saw. He figured out about the affair, confronted his mother, but with such rage, he struck her. So that's where we got the origin of the scars.
Right.
And then the old man sent him away. But then he was kept there, and they claimed he died, but instead he was just sent away, and then eventually was found by Weapon X, who did something very similar to him, found out about his ghosting abilities, but unfortunately, he was able to leave. You could have come and told me. Why didn't you just come and tell me? You're lucky to be alive. I would have killed you, little brother, for what they did to me. I would have killed your children and our parents and the old man too if you hadn't done it for me. Relax. I was just along for the ride. I couldn't do it. We're the same man, you and I. I've grown to respect you over the years. Oh, we've crossed many times before. You just don't remember it. Did you take them away from me? Make me forget? No, your healing factor did. Basically, he's trying to say how Professor X is what kept him away from him all this time. Join me, and I'll give you all the pieces you've been missing, all the pieces you ever wanted to make yourself complete. Join you in what? In this, James. Don't you remember? This is the payoff. It's a journey, a voyage you and I have been on since the beginning. And for the sake of a few insignificant lives, or in this case, a few hundred gambling places, you've always denied me. That was Xavier's handiwork. He brainwashed you to forget me also. What are you talking about? I know, I'm going too fast. I've waited 200 years for you to come back to me. You still need to get your bearings. You and me against the world, little brother, just as it's always been. And we find out who that other voice was. It's Xavier.
Ah.
His spirit has somehow been within Wolverine this whole time. And basically Wolverine is, trying to say, you lied to me. It was never as simple as that. He's trying to explain to him, it's like they've had this conversation before.
Mm.
Now, of course, I love this. I made my mind up, old man. It was already decided 200 years ago, and nothing ever, even you can change about it. So basically, John comes perform him, feeling like you're ready to accept it. I've made my decision. Good. I never doubted for a sec. James! I'm not James. I'm Logan. Now, they could have ended it right here.
Yeah.
This would have been a good ending point, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But no.
It's these next two issues where things just go right off the rails. Yeah, that would have been a great ending. Have it be he decided not to find out.
Yeah.
Instead, they are looking around for things. They're shutting it all down. It seems like. And basically we have the future version of the X-Men who are government sanctioned. Not my organization. Mr. Logan, it's an honor, sir. We hear so much about you at the Academy. You're like Mutant 101. Sorry to have to do this, sir, but we got to ask you a few things. You know how it is. You used to be one of us after all. Let's just get one thing straight, Junior. What me and the others did years ago was nothing close to what you do now. We're not even fit. You're not even fit to lick our boots. He's closing off, trying to hide something. Let me get in, Saren. You know what they teach in 101, Mr. Logan? They say you are one of the best. Bet you got tired and sloppy, and you blew it. A lot of people loved Xavier. So as far as they think, he killed Xavier.
Mm.
So yeah, he reads their mind, and eventually, back in my day, X-Men just flew wherever the hell we wanted. I guess someone must have got wind of it all with these immigration regs. Listen, I gotta take a whiz before we fly onto the Academy, okay? You boys know how it is. Your prostate's the first things to go. But George is in there. You must have nerves of steel. Something like that, George. You understand I can't tell you nothing, right? Sure I do, Mr. Logan. I owe you big time for what you did for me. Besides, it's more fun to guess. I've got a lot to tell you, son, but that'll have to wait. You bring everything I told you? Sure. Where'd you get all this stuff anyway? Doesn't matter. He's been in there too long. Something's wrong. Where? Third stall. Mr. Logan, you gotta come out of there, right? Boom. What are you guys, the janitors? So yeah, of course I lied. I was resisting telepath before they were born. I guess you could take credit for that, Xavier. Bunch of amateurs. They're a discredit for their little starch uniforms. They're not as bad as you wish they were. You never gave them a chance. I didn't have to. They were too busy shooting at me for 20 years. I should have told them what you know. Back off, old man. If you're so worried, why don't you go and tell them yourself? I'm sure they'd love and they'd be charmed as I am to find out you're still around. You know I can't do that, Logan. I can't ever come back. It would mean the end of everything. Another thing we never get an answer to. Hi, I'm sorry, sir. Were you talking to me? No, babe, just thinking out loud. So yeah, of course, George doesn't know anything, so they let him go. And then he writes he's coming up for his brother. And that's pretty much where the rest of these stories come out. We have some fight in a bar. Again, great action.
Mm-hmm.
And then he
But it kind
finds
of feels
out
like, what's the point?
Yep. And it's like, where's John Owlette? Tells him where. I'm heading over there. Ugh, I'm too freaking old for this. And basically, it looks like John still has his own men still doing stuff as he's building up for this. And Wolverine gets his old outfit out. On. I know the gentleman intimately, but he's no brother of mine. However, nothing we aim to accomplish will be of any consequences unless I go through him first. He made that point very clear. You're not going to face this man. I won't allow it. Once we detonate the device, he'll die anyway. He won't die. He never will. Not until he runs into someone better. I don't see the point. I know. Just inform the men that this is something I have specifically demanded to do. Logan understands that. I'm tired of ducking and diving. Tired of hiding my true face in a way Logan's pushing the inevitable. I don't want to miss this moment. Not when we have so much to gain. Tell Johnson I'm coming down to fetch something I need from the vault. Oh, and Fowler, when he arrives, let Logan come to me. Again, this is where you get my complaints with this miniseries with these issues, right?
They continue on too much. They could have ended it at a really good point, and
yeah, that would have been an epic ending. Have it be he found his brother, he could have told him anything. Fuck that.
Yeah.
You want to still leave it with no questions? That's fine. But yeah, Wolverine's making his way up there, and I do like this how he makes it look like it's him when it's just a fake. But yeah, basically he's fighting this whole last bit. It's one big action sequence, fighting his way up there, and it turns out they fell for it. Where he duped us, wading right through and waltzing right through while we were staring at his reflection. Rah! He's here on the ground. Put everyone on full alert and close off all access as to ecstasy. And for God's sakes, double the guards down in the lower level. Again, just big action, fighting their way through, trying to figure out what it is. And you want to know what his plan is? James, listen to me. You don't know the magnitude of the mistake you're about to make. Explain it to me. And this is an opportunity. I'm going to fight you on this. Just listen to me. We blow a hole in Nevada, and the great American economy crumbles. You can be part of the biggest hostile takeover in the history of the stock market. You're holding our liberation in your hand. This chip here that's important for it. And no more assignments, no more mutant registration and registering with the authorities like some ridiculous holdover of George Orwell novel. Well, that's the difference between you and me, bub. While you've been busy blaming the man, I've been working him to find me a job and a place to live. You don't deserve liberation. No. So the biggest hostile takeover in the history of the stock market.
I know.
That's it.
It's like, yeah, that it's like, really? I could see him going after the government for the mutant registration or something, but
I mean, does that mean they want to take over the government and the hostile takeover? Or, again, we don't get that much. While
Yeah.
you're up there at the pearly gates, why don't you tell them how you abandoned and betrayed your so-called friends, how you murdered Xavier? Try to explain what you did to Rose. And yes, that's it. You pull away like you did to the children you abandoned. You were a worthless brother and a worthless son, and you hid in the hills to avoid the shame of being a worthless father. What do you know about this? Oh, how about the one who became an accountant? What about and what a body blow that must have been? How nice for them to grow up and see in your eyes that you never loved their mother and were overtly ashamed of them for not being mutants. You got all the answers, John, and John, you got all the answers, John. Pity you don't have what you really want. Such bravado. You do know that there's a word for those innocents, unknowingly relatives of yours, and their stuffing pox-filled lives. In my business, they're known as soft targets. Go ahead, James. Do what you can. I can always wait. If that's what you really feel you need to make me do, you have a great choice to make. And the sad thing is, you have no idea what the choice is. That right. Well, I bet you didn't know, and this unit carries an ecstasy trigger, circa 2023. It's a suitcase bomb designed by Heuser Enterprises in Austria with private funding. Matter of fact, I defused two of these little buggers. They can't trigger a detonation if the circuit board breaks. Hey, they're so very fragile. Well, so Wolverine does know it. You wouldn't dare. Keep telling yourself that, and it might come true, bub. But the fact is, these units are rare and almost all accounted for. I guess you got the last one. I won't lie to you. You hold the cards, but you're only delaying things. I can have another control device manufactured in 3 months, at which point you're dead. Or you can still make a better decision and join me. By killing people, we give them a week to evacuate the city. Um, Bang goes Las Vegas. Bang goes the U.S. economy. And there we are to pick up the pizzas. Don't you see what you're about to give up? Nope. You little bastard! You're dead. Your family and friends are dead for what you've cost me. Oh, you're nothing. You're a caveman, a creature of impulse. Do you know what you've thrown away, little brother? I do. It's everything you've been searching for. I know about Rose. I know what happened to Dog. I know about Jean Grey and the real reason Sabretooth let you live that time in Chicago. I know why you left the X-Men. I know about the son you didn't even know you had, the one with the latent mutant abilities just like us. No, that's a lie. Is it? You'll never know because you'll be dead. I can only hope when you go to visit him, he'll one day accept me as his father. When I go to visit him, he'll accept me as his father. No, it's not true. It was all for nothing, James. You had your chance and you blew it. In 5 minutes, we'll be down at the base of the cable and you'll be gone. I can work my way out of it because, after all, a survivor. While I'm being questioned, my people will manufacture another trigger and will blow up Las Vegas when I post bail. Your whole life will have ended a sham, and I will go on. You'll die not even knowing why you call yourself Logan all those years ago. Oh, God. James. Oh! I'm glad it happened this way, but I want you to know, I wish it'd been different. I wish I had more time to tell you about Rose. No, I was always so proud of you, little brother. Logan. Promise ending. Again,
Oh,
it's both great and yet shitty, isn't it?
yeah. It's like
Okay,
they
tell me
didn't
your
know how
thoughts.
to
Give me your thoughts.
It's like they didn't know how to finish it. They didn't know how to stop. It was like, okay, we
Exactly.
have a good memento, but maybe we should just go a little longer. No, 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 you don't need to go a little longer.
Yeah, I mean, that ending at 4, that should have been the ending for 6. It's like,
Yeah.
if they wanted to keep it to 6 issues, they needed to build up to that first moment. Maybe have Wolverine figure things out more, but instead it just felt like, I mean, I get it. They wanted to end with Wolverine making it clear he'll never get the answers. I get that.
Right.
But
I like it better if
John's
it's
plan,
his choice.
yeah, yeah, it was his choice. Whereas this guy, that felt like, whoopsie, he popped his claws.
He's like, oh, damn it. Now I can't
Exactly.
get those answers.
Exactly. At least beforehand, it was like, I don't want to know. My name's Logan, not James.
Right.
And again, it's like,
Ah,
again, John was a good villain. A great power
yeah.
set, too.
I think he made a more interesting brother than Sabretooth did because, I like
Oh, yeah. Well,
Sabretooth
again,
better as his.
Sabretooth is only his brother in the movies.
Oh. Didn't they do it though in Origins? And then what, they
No,
retconned it?
no. That was, again, I
Oh,
told you,
okay.
that was Dog.
Ah.
Dog is not his, and Dog is his half brother, but Dog is not
Mhm.
Logan, and it's not Creed.
Okay.
That's why Origins 2 had to meet the Creed family.
Ah, okay.
Have you ever seen Origins 2?
Nope.
That was the one with Adam Kubert on artwork and
Okay.
written by Kieran Gillen.
Okay. I like
Yeah,
Adam
that one.
Kubert.
But that one is not that great by comparison. It's
Yeah.
more pointless than, at least the first one had a point. The one there, basically, oh, he falls in love with Creed's sister. We see a guy you think is Sabretooth, and then eventually Wolverine kills him, and then later we find out, oh, turns out Victor was horrible to both his sister and his brother. And now he wants the reason why he goes after
Oh.
Wolverine is because he killed his little brother before Creed could ever do it.
Ah.
Yep. And turns out the
Wow.
whole idea of the birthday thing, he did that to his siblings on their birthday. So it's just a carryover from what he did to his little brother. Yeah. I mean, it's so stupid. But you know how he killed the younger Creed? He drowned him.
Oh.
Which when you think about, that'll do it.
Yeah.
But again, the artwork on this was amazing. There's good ideas in this.
But again, they don't know when to end.
They don't. And I love George. George I adored in this.
Yeah.
But Xavier, what was the point of Xavier? Have it be maybe Wolverine thinks Xavier's there, but don't have it be that actually was him.
And it was almost like if you did read the other X-Men the ends, they were trying to tie them in, but they didn't really
They
do
were
enough
kind of,
to.
sort of, not really.
Yeah, they didn't really give the answers
Yeah.
that
I mean, I
you
get
were
it. That was the
missing.
point. I get that was the point of this. I do get it.
Yeah.
And again, if it ended at 4, perfectly fine. Wolverine's rejecting it.
Yeah.
But 6, whoops, I killed my brother. And again, his plan. It doesn't make sense. A stock and bring down Vegas, you take down the entire stock? What? Did
It's
Vegas
like a
become
James Bond villain thing.
exactly. And just
Yeah, I know.
but thank you again for joining me on this one,
No problem.
Carrie. Yep, and hopefully we can get back to the origin some point in the future.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
Yep. We'll see you all on the next one. Take care.
Bye.